Welcome back to the Lockwood Chronicles. My name is Larissa, and today we are going over our March TBR. Obviously, I have to wear green because it's March, which means it's St. Patty's Day. And St. Patty's Day is, oddly enough, probably my second favorite holiday. I just love St. Patty's Day for the fact that it just signals spring is in the air, warmer weather. Also, I just had really great times with my friends St. Patty's Day, and they will just be cherished memories for me. Always a great time. All right, well, I am so tired right now. So we have some strawberry sunrise Alani. I've been really liking this flavor. I got it at Aldi, and then when I went back this past week, I grabbed 4 of them. I love Aldi with my whole heart. However, they rotate things in and out like crazy, and it makes me so sad because I really wanted more of these. So I guess I'll just have to go actually get more. Oh, that makes me happy. Oh, it's another month, which means we have another TBR to state that we are going to read and then only read a few from them. My favorite time, honestly. My favorite time is to be a liar to you guys. First and foremost, I have a lot of books on my physical TBR, or do I? Okay, let's hold off here. 1, 2. I'm such a liar. I really thought I was doing something. I really thought I had a lot of physical TBR books this time. I don't. I have 3. But who knows? Maybe I'll get in the mood to read more off of there. Oh, that's so sad. Nope. Okay. Well, at least we have 3 on here. So I have 9 listed. However, there are brackets because I'm still undecided of which ones. And then my book club books, I'm in 2 different book clubs, and we haven't decided yet. So I'm waiting for the voting process, and each of them are between 3 different books. There is definitely more listed than what I'm actually going to get to. It's not my fault. This one is my fault because I can't decide which one I want to read, and I need advice on that. Actually, I don't need advice. I know which one I'm going to do. Alright, I decided. That's good. We narrowed one down. This just seems like a good March book. And the other one, which I'll talk about in a second, that I was debating between, seems like a good April book. The first one on the list is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I did not get to this one was it on my TBR last month? I don't remember. I don't think it was. I think it might have been in January. Actually, I have no idea. But this is The Great Alone. And I haven't read a Kristen Hanna book yet. I was debating between The Nightingale, which is way more popular than The Great Alone. Look at the cover. Yes, it's still wintry cold, but at the same time, it's gloomy, rainy. There are raindrops on the cover, which means April showers. So it's going to be an April book. Sneaky peek. The Great Alone, it's in Alaska, so it's cold. It takes place in 1974. The Albrights are a family in crisis. They are alone, living off the grid in a harsh and unforgiving wilderness. Ernst Albright has come home from the Vietnam War a changed and volatile man and has made the impulsive decision to move his wife and daughter north to America's last true frontier. Cora Albright will do anything for the man she loves, even if it means following him into the unknown. 13-year-old Lenny, caught in the riptide of her parents' passionate, stormy relationship, has little choice but to go along, daring to hope this new land promises her family a better future. This sweeping, unforgettable portrait of human frailty and resilience spans the decades in a place of incomparable beauty and danger, where a family learns the truth about the wildness that lives in both man and nature. I think that's a very appropriate book for winter, colder times, even though, again, it's warming up. It's going to be 40s. It's going to be 40s here in Minnesota. We've had just such a long stretch of negative temperatures, and it's been brutally cold here, and there was a snowstorm, and now it's all gonna go away, and we're all gonna be happy, and everybody gets such in a better mood when it's above 30 degrees, and it's just, I'm so excited. It's springtime now. But don't get me wrong, March we will probably get at least 2 or 3 more snowstorms, big piles of snow. Always happens. but fingers crossed it doesn't, and that we'll just jump right into spring. But that's not the point of this. Kristen Hanna primarily does more historical fiction, more well known for just like portraying realistic people and depicting and capturing those moments of humanity. And I'm excited to finally read a book of hers, even though it's so intimidating. This is so chunky. Next up, because again, green, which means March, which means I need to read a green book at least, and that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This one has been on my TBR for far too long. I read Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, and I love that book, and I just want to explore more of her writing, and the fact that I've had this book on my TBR for years at this point and haven't read it is disgusting to me. It even has the sprayed edges. I think I picked this up from a Goodwill or something, and because I liked her other book so much, I was like, oh, I want to read more of hers, and I haven't. Kath is a Simon Snow fan. Okay, the whole world is a Simon Snow fan, but for Kath, being a fan is her life, and she's really good at it. She and her twin sister Wren ensconced themselves in the Simon Snow series when they were just kids. It's what's gotten them through their mother leaving. Reading, rereading, hanging out in Simon Snow forums, writing Simon Snow fan fiction, dressing up like characters for every movie premiere. Kath's sister has mostly grown away from the fandom, but Kath can't let it go. She doesn't want to. Now that they're going to college, Wren has told Kath she doesn't want to be roommates. Kath is on her own, completely outside of her comfort zone. She's got a surly roommate with a charming, always-around boyfriend, a fan fiction writing professor who thinks fan fiction is the end... a fiction writing professor who thinks fan fiction is the end of civilized world, a handsome classmate who only wants to talk about words, and she can't stop worrying about her dad, who's loving and fragile and has never really been alone. For Kath, the question is, can she do this? Can she make it without Wren holding her hand? Is she ready to start living her own life? And does she even want to move on if it means leaving Simon Snow behind? I would say a good coming-of-age story. I really like college settings and that transitional time period. Those are really small. Oh dear. But the margins, why? What is this? Okay, the font, aggressively tiny, but look how big the margins are. Couldn't we have just like upped the size of the text and made the margins a little smaller? That is aggressively tiny. I might have to see if I can like read this on my Kindle. Oh, maybe that's just a fan fiction. That's more reasonable. Not much better, but like more reasonable. Alright, next up we have Rebel Witch, the second book in the Crimson Moth series, so Heartless Hunter is the first. I don't have it in hard copy yet. I'm going to see if it's on Kindle Unlimited first, because this one was, and then I just ended up buying it. Again, I'm trying to be more conscious of my spending. I really liked this first one, and I'm really excited to get into the second one. Heartless Hunter is about this girl. She is a witch, and witches are frowned upon in society. Like, they are being hunted and killed. And they're like blood witches, too. So they need blood to produce magic. And then the other dual POV is the biggest witch hunter, like the most successful witch hunter in the society that is after our girly pop, the Crimson Moth. So it's just kind of like those cat and mouse. They like pretend to fake date to try and get closer to one another. She's trying to free a witch that has been captured, and he is trying to, he thinks, capture her, but he wants to make sure. But she does a really good job of being like in high society and all of that, and like tricking people and playing the ditzy high society girl. The way this ended off made me really sad. I need to continue on, see what's going on in this universe, and I don't know, is this a duology, or is it says book one, but I don't know if it's a duology or if it's going to be multiple books, which makes me nervous to read Rebel Witch, because if it ends off on another cliffhanger, Okay, this next one is debatable. So it might not happen, mainly because I'm a silly head, and I was on the library waiting list for this one for a very long time. It finally came through. I was reading other things at the time, just like wasn't in the mood to pick it up because I had been reading a lot of like fantasy. And I'm like, I can't do another fantasy. And then I accidentally let the time expire on it. So now I'm back in line for it, which is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. It is a cozy fantasy about an orc who just wants to be done fighting and open up a little coffee shop, and the daily tasks and the friendships and everything that goes along with that. It's just supposed to be super cozy, but again, I was reading so much fantasy, couldn't do another one, even if it was just a cozy one. Fingers crossed that I actually get it again. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This comes out March 18th. This is another prequel to The Hunger Games, and this is Haymitch's story. We're finally getting Haymitch's story as to like when he went in to the games. Oh no, my battery's dying. I'm just really, really excited to get on this. They are making it into a movie right away. I still haven't watched the Songbirds and Snakes movie, so I should probably get on that. But I love the Hunger Games trilogy. I just love these books so much. I think they're just so nostalgic, and like they have such great themes, and they were so iconic for the time and still are. Twisted Collide by Ava Harrison. So this is the second book in the, I think it's the Redville series. It's a hockey romance. I'm just making my way through some of these sports romances, especially since Sports Romance Con is coming to Minneapolis and I am going. Ava Harrison is one of the authors that will be there. And I'm really enjoying the series, like the first one, which is Twisted Fate. Oh, no. Or Sweet Collide. That's what it is. I think I'm getting the Twisted series. It doesn't matter. My dad abandoned me as a baby. My mom just kicked me out. Oh, and I can't stand hockey. It's shocking how many drunken secrets Dane Sinclair fleeces from me the night we meet. It's supposed to be a one-night stand. No numbers, no strings attached. A release we both desperately need. Neither of us expect to come face to face again on my first day working for the Redville Saints. Dane thinks I targeted him, that I seduced him, knowing he's their star enforcer. Oh, so that's exciting. I didn't know Dane was the enforcer. He just seems so fun and bubbly and cute. Despite his suspicions, he can't stay away from me. I'm his dirty little secret, his coach's off-limits daughter. The whole world thinks he's a saint. It's about to find out behind the squeaky clean exterior is just another sinner. Oh, wow. Okay, so she went daddy issues. So she went and is working for her dad now, who abandoned her. Okay, I guess we'll find out why. Interesting. All right, well, that's Twisted Collide. And then next up, Power Play by Chelsea Curto. This is the second book in the DC Stars series, and Chelsea Curto is one of the authors that will be at Sports Romance Con. So again, doing my due dil. Piper Mitchell needs one thing to go her way. Divorced, feeling stuck in her professional life, and terrified of re-entering the world of dating, she's decided going to work on something she cannot control. Learning how to be good in the bedroom. Oh. Enter Liam Sullivan, the star NHL goalie, who might not be a people person, but he's the perfect teacher. He knows what he's doing behind closed doors, and with a little convincing, he agrees to be Piper's guide. Things between them are casual and easy, something they can both benefit from. And when a road trip to Vegas has Piper and Liam waking up from a night they can't remember with matching wedding rings, they decide to figure out how much more fun they can have as husband and wife. It's just for the hockey season. It doesn't mean anything, but as the clock ticks down to their fake marriage with benefits, can Piper and Liam make it work in the real world? Or will the relationship be a power play straight to disaster? That sounds so fun. I love a hockey goalie. I used to think it was like such a lame position. But so much respect for them. Honestly, like goalies to me in all sports like that, but especially hockey goalies, there's like something a little kooky up there, because that is a tough job and terrifying. And I remember one time I had to play goalie and it was the worst day of my life. And I was like, do not ever put me back in that net. I had to do that for both hockey and soccer. And I got back to defense on both. So that was exciting. I'm kooky, but not that kooky. I'm not that kind of kooky. Like, but goalies? They're hot. Now we head to our romantasy book club. Narrowed it down to like 3 options, and we're doing a sports romance, so not even romantasy. We do like to mix in different genres, so it's pretty much just a basic book club at this point. So our 3 options are Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which I have read, and I love that series. So they're like, are you okay with rereading? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I suggested The Right Move by Liz Tomforty. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. It's the second book in the Windy Cities series, and everybody said to skip Mile High. It's, I believe, NBA, and I don't gravitate towards basketball romance because that is the one sport I don't really understand. I'm not a big like basketball person, but I've heard really good things about the series, and it is a series that I would like to read eventually. I probably will read Mile High at some point, but I'd rather start with the other books in the series instead of like getting a bad impression with Mile High, because everybody says they hate it. I've heard one person like it, but other than that, I haven't heard of anybody else liking Mile High. So I suggested we start with The Right Move. The Foxhole Court by Sakavic. I don't know. Another girl just like was searching for books and found that. I think it's Sapphic. I believe it's MM. I think is what she said. I'm not 100% sure. I should have like looked things up before I started talking about them. But we're voting on those 3. And then for my other book club, which we will have met when this video is posted, but I don't know if we'll necessarily have voted on what we're choosing. So I am choosing for this book club, and I'm really excited because I have 3 different choices. However, this one is for sure on my TBR, and I hope it gets voted, but at the same time, like, I'm really excited about the 2 other books that I have listed. Regardless, I own all 3 of them, and I would like to work on getting that physical TBR down. But this one is just getting transferred over from my February TBR, and that is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. This is a figure skater romance, kind of a documentary style. It's childhood figure skaters, friends, lovers, and then something happens and they no longer skate together. There was something traumatic or dramatic that happened that they just split ways, and nobody really knows what it is, and apparently they're doing like a documentary, or it's resurfacing, or something is going on. Yeah, they're getting interviewed. And I've heard the audiobook is really, really good. Very much like Daisy Jones and the Six vibe. I mean, that's what I've just heard it compared to. I really want to get to this because I think it will be so good. Yes, this one is for sure going on my TBR because I do want to get to it, mainly because I am a seasonal mood reader, and figure skating and like hockey and anything with that reminds me of winter, and we're still in winter, even though it's March. Spring is coming. Woo! Okay, my battery died. I had to switch that out. Ugh, they're not charging. Okay, I need to get a different battery charger. As I was saying, the next book on my voting list for book club is Pure Nessie by Susanna Clark. I've heard to not go into this knowing anything about it besides this little guy. He lives in like a museum, and you'll be confused the whole time. And that sounds fun. I don't even want to read the back of the book. The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley. Science fiction, but also like very genre bending. Time travel. These people in the future go back and try to fix or something. They bring back people from the past that have died, or like keep them alive, and something like that. I don't, you know what, let's just read the thing. In the near future, a civil servant is offered the salary of her dreams to work on a top secret project. A recently established government ministry is gathering expats from across history to establish whether time travel is feasible for the human body, but also for the fabric of space-time. She is tasked with working as a bridge, living with, assisting, and monitoring the expat known as 1847, or Commander Graham Gore. As far as history is concerned, Commander Gore died on Sir John Franklin's doomed 1845 expedition to the Arctic. So he's a little disoriented to be living with an unmarried woman who regularly shows her calves, surrounded by outlandish concepts such as a washing machine, Spotify, and the collapse of the British Empire. But with an appetite for discovery, a 7-a-day cigarette habit, and the support of a charming and chaotic cast of fellow expats. Why can't I say expats? That's so hard. He soon adjusts. Over the next year, what begins as an excruciatingly uncomfortable housemate dynamic evolves into something much deeper. By the time the true shape of the ministry's project comes to light, the bridge has fallen haphazardly, fervently in love, with consequences she never could have imagined. Forced to confront the choices that brought them together, the bridge must finally reckon with whether what she does next can change the future. This reminds me of a movie that was a time-traveling movie. Not The Time Traveler's Wife. Not the other Rachel McAdams movies that had her time traveling. Oh gosh, I don't even know. Heard amazing things about this. My choice for book club is going to be one of those 3. The Ministry of Time, The Favorites, or Pure Nessie. That's what they're going to vote on. I for sure am going to keep The Favorites on my TBR just because of I really want to read it. And winter time is the perfect time to read it because I'm very much a seasonal mood reader, and figure skaters deem seasonal. There are the books that I am planning to read, hopefully this month in March. Fingers crossed that we make a significant dent into this TBR. I am really going to try and push for my physical TBR to be read. Yeah, fingers crossed that we actually do that. If you would like any of these vlogged, please let me know, or if like you really want to see one vlogged, yeah, let me know. I love vlogging, obviously, because it's so fun to just chat and read with you guys. If you're dying to get a vlog of any of these, please, please, please let me know. Would love to. What's on your TBR for March? I would love to know. And feel free to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future book content like wrap-ups, TBRs, reading vlogs, etc. As well as like this video. I would really appreciate it. And with that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks. Bye.